minutes, what I'd like to talk to you about is this paradox. It's a paradox that I've dealt with basically all my career because I've been very interested in innovation and also interested in knowledge. And the fact of the matter is that those two aren't always compatible. But I would like to convince you that, in fact, certain types of knowledge, namely deep smarts, and I'll tell you more than you want to know about that in a minute, underlie innovation at your firm. And that to some degree, in some firms, you're in danger of losing some of those deep smarts and therefore losing some of the opportunity for innovation that exists. So the paradox, as I said, is that knowledge both enables innovation and can inhibit it. And I'm going to spend more time telling you about the enhancement and the enablement than I am about the problems that knowledge can cause. But we've already heard about some of those in the conference already. So let me start by saying, what are deep smarts? The simple definition is business critical, experience-based knowledge. And I'm going to put quite a bit of emphasis on both of those, business critical and experience-based. It's what you have in your heads after you've been doing something for 10, 15, 20 years. And it's one of the most difficult things for you to transfer to other people because it's unique. Even if you're sitting next to someone who has the same educational background and some of the same industrial background that you have, your experience is unique to you. And so that's why it's difficult sometimes to transfer. Now, we all start at various activities as a novice. As I said, most of you are very experienced. You're expert in one or more areas. But let's say you wanted to go hang gliding or create a rap song or something new for the first time. You start as a novice, right? And then as you gain experience, you become more of an apprentice and a journeyman and then a master. And you'll notice that the ladder here, if I can get this right, the ladder here is open at the top because even people who have been doing something for 20, 30 years still have an opportunity to learn. And in fact, the most deeply smart people are eager to learn. So let me tell you a story about a master. About 30 years ago, there were two companies that were competing for a US defense contract. They were missile companies, and each company sent up 6 missiles. All 12 of these prototype missiles failed. In one company, a scientist who wasn't directly involved with this particular missile, but who knew a lot about missile development, decided to take it upon himself to spend a week thinking about and redesigning that missile. And then for 4 hours in an auditorium like this, he walked through every bit of the missile that had failed, and he made suggestions on the software, the firmware, and the hardware. And as a result of his accomplishments and his ability to tell people about the deep smarts that he had, that company went on to create a missile that they're still producing 30 years later. So his deep smarts underlay an innovation that was extremely important to that company. So some of the very most valuable information in your company actually exists in the heads and the hands of very experienced people. And a lot of that knowledge is tacit. And what I mean by tacit, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute, is that it's undocumented and it's often not even articulated. That makes it difficult, again, to preserve and to transfer to other people. So deep smarts, here they are. People who have good judgment, people who know a lot about your company, know how to get things done in your company, in your industry. They often have networks that are extremely important, professional networks, and they are the go-to people in your company. Usually they're pretty obvious, but not always.